Hey, and welcome to our sleep clinic. I am Dr. Random, and I will take care of you today. So, together we will try to find a solution for your sleeping problems. And quickly before we start, can I bring you anything to drink or something? No, that's fine. Just get comfortable, sit down, and relax, and we will go ahead and start with the therapy session in just a minute. Just quickly, before we start, I want to give you an impression of what I will be doing today. First of all, I will ask you some questions about your sleeping problems, about your insomnia, so I get like a good look at what you're suffering from, and after that, I will try to come up with a solution for your problem. So, does this sound like a good idea to you? Awesome. Okay, so let's get right into the questions. So, first of all, how many hours of sleep are you trying to get every single night? Okay, that's good. That's good. And of course, how many hours of sleep are you actually getting on average? Okay, I understand. Okay. And what would you describe the how would you describe the nature of your sleeping problems? Like, are you just not tired at all at night, or are you tired and there's so many stuff on your mind that you just can't sleep, or maybe you even have physical pain, or maybe that's the case with some of my patients as well. They are just very tired in the evenings or in the night time, but they just can't find sleep for no reason at all, they think. So, how would you describe your problems? Okay, very interesting. Very interesting, yeah. And what do you usually do when you're laying awake in your bed and you can't sleep? So, what are you doing then? Do you just lay there in the dark and try to force you to sleep? Or do you like stay in bed and start to read a book or do something on your phone? Or do you maybe even stand up and do like something totally different? I don't know, just household things or stuff like that. So, what is your method there? Okay. I actually forgot to ask this question at the beginning. How long are you actually already suffering from your insomnia symptoms? Okay, alright, yeah. And I guess we're almost finished. Just this one last question. Is there anything that you have already done to try to cure your sleeping problems, like doing a therapy of some sort, or even tried out medications, maybe? Uh huh. Mm-hmm. Okay. Okay. I guess now I have a pretty good picture of the nature of your insomnia, and I also think that I have a good idea on how to cure it, or maybe first try to cure it, of course. Have you ever heard of ASMR? Oh, that's fine, I will explain that to you. So, ASMR is an acronym and it stands for Autonomous Sensory Meridian Response. and it is a sensation that some people, not all people, but some people feel, maybe on top of their head or down their spines or wherever, when they listen to or watch some acoustic or visual so-called triggers. So, like if you hear a certain sound or you see a certain movement, maybe that you have this tingly sensation that starts like here and goes down your spine and or wherever. So this is a thing, and there's actually a quite large and a very welcoming community on the video platform YouTube, and there are a ton, really a ton of content creators who upload videos on their channels, and they make like different sounds or different visual triggers to induce those so-called tingles, like the sensation on the top of your head or something else. So, like I said, there are very many different triggers, like acoustic and visuals. Like I said, there is like tapping on certain objects or surfaces. There is like scratching or crinkling with plastic stuff, and also like whispering in itself, like the soft whispering in itself is a huge trigger for a lot of people, and also the kind of soft speaking that I practice right now. I like to keep the tone of my therapy sessions very calm and very low, and so I try to do that soft speaking myself, and there are also like visual triggers, like maybe tracing stuff or the movement of hands, and many more. There are a whole lot of different triggers out there, and the content creators on YouTube are always very experimental, and they come up with new ideas every now and then, and it's pretty cool. So and what is also pretty cool, at least for me, and it's also very important that one finds out what of those triggers he or she likes and what he or she dislikes. So there are many people who like love and adore one trigger, and there are a lot of people who hate this trigger. There's like one trigger that's called mouse sounds, or that is mouth sounds, and a lot of people hate it and a lot of people love it, and there's like a huge divide between ASMR listeners. But it's the same with a lot of other triggers too, so it's very interesting and very important to find the favorite triggers of the ASMR listener. So, are you interested at all in ASMR, or are you maybe a bit creeped out already? I know ASMR sounds a bit weird at the first glance, but it's totally fine. There's nothing wrong with it. And yeah, so are you maybe interested in that sort of solution, quote unquote, for your insomnia? You're open? That's pretty cool. So, like I said, there are a ton of YouTube videos, but if you want to, I can also give you maybe a quick live ASMR session just for a first look at it. So then I would create like some sounds here directly in your ear, and yeah, you can see what of those triggers you like or you don't like. Yeah, that sounds good to you. Very good. Just a reminder, usually, because of YouTube, people tend to listen to ASMR with headphones. There are also binaural microphones that when the content creator speaks in like your right, that it seems like the content creator speaks into your right ear and then switches to the other side, which is a very good experience because it sounds very three-dimensional. It's very good. So therefore, you tend to listen to ASMR with headphones, but we don't need those here because, yeah, this is a bit three-dimensional because you're actually here. So I already gathered a couple of items and I will go through them now. And after each item or each trigger, you go ahead and tell me if you like it at all or if you don't like it. Does that sound good? No? Okay, then let's do this. So, first of all, I have this book here, and a very common trigger with books is tapping on it. And it makes a really nice sound. There's also a lot of other triggers with books like page flipping or reading as well, because like I said, whispering is huge in the ASMR community, but we will focus mainly on the tapping aspect, and I will now just shut up and let you enjoy the sound of it. So, this was, as you probably already figured, quite fast, and there's also a great divide in the ASMR community, whether they prefer like fast sounds in general or slow sounds. So even with tapping and with book tapping as well, there's also the option to go a bit slower. Me personally, I prefer the fast, so this is why I started with the fast tapping, but I try to give you some experience with the slow sounds as well. So this was tapping, especially book tapping. Obviously, there is like cardboard box tapping as well, and wood tapping, and glass tapping, and leather tapping, and plastic box tapping, and all sorts of tapping, and they all make a very, very different sound. I mean, the tapping is the same, but very different aspects. So how did you like the book tapping? You liked it? That's cool. Very good, very good. So up next, we have a trigger that is called crinkling. I mean, the sound is called crinkling, but the trigger is called crinkling as well. And some people experience that this is quite a harsh sound. I know it's a bit loud, so you have to be very, very careful all the time. But some people really, really do enjoy it as well. So, I guess we're done with the crinkling. So, how did you like it? It was alright. It was alright. Okay. Yeah, I like the tapping better as well. So, so let's just squeeze in one not acoustic trigger, because, like I said, there is a variety of audio and visual triggers, and there is a trigger called hand movement, what I'm doing right now, obviously, and the point of it is moving your hands in a soothing and maybe even hypnotizing manner. And this can also induce tingles for some people, or just feel relaxing and just good for certain people. When I come like close to you, there's another trigger a very similar trigger, obviously, called face touching. I'm not actually touching the face, but I come very close. That also feels a bit like dancing all the time. Okay, so you heard two acoustic triggers, and how did you like the visual one? You enjoyed it? Ah, that's good, that's good. So on to one last acoustic trigger we go, and I brought this little bristle brush. And brushing is also a very, very popular, I believe, trigger. There's all kinds of brushing. You can brush the actual mic that the ASMR artist, that's what it's called on YouTube, the ASMR artist uses, so you can brush it directly with maybe a windshield on, or maybe no windshield on, or you can brush other things, so you could just do like sounds with the brush itself. There are paint brushes, there are this brush, there are hair brushes, there are all kinds of triggers, so the variety is very, very great in that one as well. Okay, so how did you like this particular brush? Oh, alright, that's good, that's good. And I guess our therapy session comes to an end now. So, like I said before, if I got you hooked up with ASMR, you should definitely check it out on YouTube. Just search ASMR and just look around and see what you like and see what you don't. If you want to, we can also go more deeply into ASMR in an upcoming sleep therapy session if you want to. But that's totally up to you. But so far, I really hope you enjoyed my introduction to ASMR, and I hope to see you soon. Goodbye.